Welcome, wonderful friends, to the Sunday rune and card reading. And we are really being blessed, I think, as the sun is rising. A shaft of light is coming through and gracing us on our table. Isn't that an absolutely wonderful start to the reading? Now, I have been smudging all these cards and runes. These are the cards and runes we're going to be using today, so many. And I was also particularly drawn to 3 different pieces of calcite to guide us and bring additional energy to our readings. So, dear friends, if you are already a part of this wonderful, beautiful, amazing community, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys are incredible. Listening to your comments, the way you support one another, the sharing of your stories, really, truly, it's so uplifting to tune in to this YouTube channel and just listen to your observations. You are so insightful. So guys, thank you. If you're new to my readings, I'm Jenny Florence. Welcome. Every month I give away a pack of the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards and also a free private reading. This is a subscriber offer, so if you would like to be in our monthly draw, you will need to subscribe and join our subscriber email list. I'll put a link in the information box below and also in the comments for phone users. I will also put timestamps, so that you can move to the readings if you already know which one you've been drawn to just from the thumbnail at the beginning of the video. A lot of people like to sit with me, listen to the extra guidance from the crystals or whatever it is that we are drawing on for guidance every week. I do post readings every single Sunday. I will also be uploading some big readings soon, as the last ones I did were from January through to March, really looking at those monthly progressions for each sign. I plan to do another set for April through to June. So again, if you want to get notification as soon as I upload them, do press subscribe and the little bell icon, and that way they should come through into your stream. Now, a lot of people like to sit with me for the guidance and the drawing of the cards and runes, but at any time you know which reading or readings are speaking to you, you can move right through using the timestamps. So, dear friends, let's talk about these incredible crystals. Now, we've been going through a lot of astrological sort of incoming intense energy, and I mean, thank you so much, you guys, as well, for those of you who are now tuning into the Facebook page as well. I've only recently really started posting on there, and I'm doing a lot of astro updates, astro energy updates. Where's the moon today? What's happening in terms of the phases and cycles of the moon and how they impact on us in terms of manifestation. Now, thank you for your comments and, again, your shares, your likes. Very interesting that this very intense energy has been affecting people in very different ways. I've been hearing people having like series of breakthroughs, things moving quite quickly. I've been hearing people processing stuff at great depth, again, often very fast processing. I've been hearing people feeling quite exhausted, lots of high energy expenditure, particularly emotionally, hearing lots of insights, illuminations flooding through for some people. So very powerful time of transition, and the energy that's around, although we're going to have some peaks, some peaks of intensity, this is what 2021 is about. It's all about transformation. So I was drawn to 3 pieces of calcite. Now, first of all, green calcite. Green calcite is really interesting because it helps us to process often past issues. If you're finding buttons are being pressed, green calcite is sometimes known as a memory stone. It's sort of, it allows us to journey back, to see something in terms of where we've come from, how it affected us, but also to stand back from it and get a different perspective. So it really helps us to process past experiences or anything that's coming through if buttons are being pressed. It's a great healer, very much a healer of the past. Our second reading is going to be guided by this beautiful piece of red calcite. Now, red calcite, for me, it's like an energizer. It brings, I don't know, it brings vitality. It enhances our ability to feel empowered, to live life through passion, through energy. It's really interesting. It also grounds us. I always feel if I'm spinning too many plates, or I'm struggling to see the way forwards, I'm feeling a little bit overloaded, this will increase my vitality. It will allow me to hold my vision, hold my passion, hold my direction, but also ground me enough to navigate you know, whatever circumstances I'm sort of needing to find my way through. So again, both grounding and yet energizing simultaneously. Again, very, very distinct flavour of healing that comes in with this stone. We then have aqua-calcite. I mean, this for me is like divine guidance. Absolutely beautiful. It is said to open pathways to our spirit guides, and we're going to be drawing from the Spirit Animal Pack as well for these readings. I also would recommend using this around the full and the new moons. If you use this in meditation, particularly around those key phases of the moon, I think it can really enhance our ability to receive guidance, to know what steps to take next. So again, a great healer in terms of, I think, both opening channels of divine communication and yet somehow bringing that sort of sense of the pathway being lit up for us in terms of moving forwards. So there's a sense of, let's say, security and stability, but we never feel alone when we walk with aqua-calcite. We're really in touch with our spirit guides, our angels. It allows us to know that we are surrounded by love and guidance if we can only open our hearts to receive. So that is the energy of reading number 3. So wonderful friends, we're now going to draw from the cards. I'm going to move this up here, a little bit out of our way. In fact, I'm going to move that lovely piece of selenite up to the very top of our camera view and move these pieces of calcite here. I'm actually going to draw from the runes first today. And again, I think it was last week we had 2 runes for each reading, and that's what we're going to be doing today. 2 runes for every reading. Okay, so 2 runes for every reading. Now I'm going to need to move our cards. We have Archangel Michael cards today, the Akashic Tarot. We're going to use some from the Gaia as well, the Gaia pack, and the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards and Spirit Animal Guides. So let's draw a Spirit Animal Guide card for each of the readings first. And next, I think, the Akashic Tarot. Very, very powerful cards, these. I've only recently started using them, but I find them to be particularly relevant, I think, because at this present time, because we're going through so much transition, so much is being dredged up, I think, often from more than one lifetime. So really, really very, very helpful pack of cards to be drawing on at the moment. And thank you also for those of you who, your feedback and your comments is wonderful, and it's really helpful for me. I know some people have said, could I I've been recently just laying the cards out in little piles, and somebody said to me, could I do a more sort of spread out layout so that when they are sitting and looking at the thumbnail or pausing the video, they can really tune into the cards and see which ones are speaking to them. So I'm going to be a little bit more thoughtful about how I place them today. Next, we're going to use a Gaia pack, the Gaia Tarot. Lovely, lovely cards, these. Lovely earthy energy. And now an Art of Manifestation Oracle card. And lastly, an Archangel Michael card. Woo! Now, I'm not going to use that one. It may well come through, but because we've actually effectively seen it, and this is a pick a card reading, they are really wanting to show themselves today. But because this is a pick a card reading, it's quite important in many ways that we don't really know what the cards are, you know, prior to turning them over. It's very much about tuning into our intuition, trusting that we can really, yeah, listen to that intuition, listen to that guidance. Okay, lovely. So we have reading 1, reading 2 and reading 3. Green calcite, red calcite, aqua calcite. Very different healing energies, very different messages that they portray, very different flavour and energy that they bring to the readings. Wonderful friends, thank you again so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe and join our subscriber email list if you want to be part of our monthly draw, potentially win a free private reading or a pack, a first signed limited edition pack of the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards. And wonderful friends, press the pause button if you are wanting to just spend some time before deciding which reading or readings are speaking to you. For some people, I know it's more than one. So, my dear friends, I will see you in the readings. So much love to you all. Namaste. Welcome, wonderful friends, to reading number 1. We have this stunning piece of green calcite, the memory stone. Let's see what we are shown today. So, we have 2 runes. The first is the blank rune. The second actually is the rune of fertility. Now, the blank rune is often a rune of gestation. It's like a pregnant pause. For me, it's this space of in-betweenness where we are in the process of birthing something new. We're in a space of transition. It sometimes indicates that there is only one outcome, only one way to go. There's only one, you know, when we are birthing, it's going to happen. Fertility is lovely because the rune of fertility speaks of new pathways unfolding, of joyful deliverance. But it does, and emergence indeed, it does signify as well, though, a completion of beginnings is needed in some way. Let's have a look at our cards. Okay, Badger Spirit, be fearless and bold. Yeah, interesting. Caught in the ruins, and we have the Muse in reverse. Followed by, okay, so followed by 6 of Earth. Then our Art of Manifestation Oracle cards are Have Your Voice. I think we might just get 1 row in here. I think there's plenty of room on camera for these. Have Your Voice, and ask Archangel Michael to help with this situation. Lots of bits of ash and stuff from where I have been smudging, including a little hole I would add here where I managed to burn my scarf, but never mind. So Badger Spirit, be fearless and bold, have your voice. This is telling me that you need to say something. Something is needing to be voiced. What's holding you back? Is there some kind of memory, some past issue that have buttons been pressed whereby something is being reenacted that is holding you back? The Muse in reverse feels like it's like writer's block. It's like you're needing to say something, you're needing to birth something into the world, you're needing to fertilize the ground for your own deliverance, and yet something is stopping you in some way. It's quite interesting because I would say 6 of Earth. This is a card for me of service. What is it that you are bringing forth? What is it you're birthing into the world? What is it that you are wanting to generate, produce? That is, there's some kind of a block around you where this does feel like it's like that writer's block, or something is stopping you, but it goes back in history. There's something within you that Somewhere in you there's either a limiting belief or your buttons are being pressed, you're feeling nervous about something. But this is really interesting. Card of service. You need to have your voice. I think you have something valuable to share. You have something that is worth birthing into the world. I think it's going to help others. Have your voice. Is there something you need to say? An inability to speak out can leave us with feelings of hurt and resentment, which then create a kind of internal energetic roadblock. Voice your feelings to yourself or write them down. It is time to release the past. Now, what I feel here is there's something about choose your battles, or choose the circumstances through which you release that energy, because you know, sometimes, and it is quite interesting because I am kind of seeing like a wall. It's like a wall that has to be climbed over. But in a way, the Caught in the Ruins card, I mean, this does depict a kind of, I want to say a gate or a wall. It's almost like we're in a ruined castle here. But there is actually no roof to it. There is no ceiling to this. You can climb out, you can move on, but you have to make a conscious effort to do so. It is as if something is still holding you back, and the energy of it is clinging in some way. Be fearless, be bold. Badger spirit is amazing. Badger spirit, it's got that, you know, badgers are tenacious. They don't give up. They're very determined. They know what matters. They fight for family. They persevere. They are very, very diligent. They're very, very maternal and very, very nurturing. You know, completion of beginnings, fertilizing the ground for your own deliverance. But they do so with spirit. They do so with a degree of, tenacity, durability, resilience that comes from that sense of purpose. I feel this reading is really speaking about the need to come through something. There is some aspect of memory that is lingering. Buttons have been pressed. Remember, if buttons are pressed, they are your buttons. You need to choose what happens. It's time to climb out of this, to let yourself out of this space where something is coming back to haunt you in some way. Have your voice, talk about your feelings, but choose who you speak to. Sometimes if we can't go back and we can't fix something from the past because it happened, it's long gone, you can't fix it, you can't address it. It's kind of like writing a letter never to send, you know, one of those letters where we just put it out on the page and then we release it, we burn it, we give it in prayer to God, to source energy, to great spirit, you know, whatever, whoever you are connected with, whatever your spiritual affiliation is connected to, you let it go. There's something very profound about letting something go here that is clinging and holding you back. I'm literally seeing this wall around you, and yet you can climb over it. The Muse in reverse is an interesting card, and I'm going to play with the energy a little bit here, as I often do in readings, because let's just tune in to green calcite. Calcites are healers. Green calcite is a memory stone. The energy of this stone connects with the heart chakra. It allows us to heal. It supports healing from an emotional, a spiritual, a physical and a mental sort of, it's literally the whole package. It's mind, body, soul, spirit. It helps us to heal, and it creates a resolution of history in some way. There is a letting go and a putting something down here. Be tenacious, have your voice, say how it is in no uncertain terms. It's really interesting. I'm really tuning into Badger spirit, and I can feel my heart chakra opening up. It's almost like something is blocking you, and what it's doing is it's inhibiting you because it's using your energy. Your energy is being expended in those kind of thinking patterns that go over and over and over, or reproduce the same repetitive cycles of thought where you feel as though you're trapped and you can't move forwards. That is actually what's blocking your ability to then birth whatever it is into the world. And the birthing this is a promise of success. It's a promise of fruition, but energetically, it's kind of like something is clinging and lingering. I'd really, really encourage you to write that letter never to send, or write your thoughts down, but do so from a position of full emotional expression. I'm really wanting that to be voiced, let out. It's really interesting. I have quite a strong image coming. I have a friend, funny enough, she was a writer, really is a writer, not was a writer, is a brilliant writer. And I remember she found a way for her. She'd had quite a tough history, and in many ways it's what made her such an amazing writer, because she wrote from the heart. But whenever she felt stuck, she'd go out and she would chop wood, and it might just sound crazy, but it was like the physical energy and release of just picking up an axe and splitting wood, and it was just she needed some form of physical release. She couldn't fix the past, but she could actually sort of release some of the emotional content, which would then free her mind. And she'd literally do this and then go in and write, and it would just flow, because she had released something of the physicality of stuff. Six of Earth is calling you into service. Have your voices interesting, because there's a dual message coming through with this. The dual message is you do actually have something to say, you have something to offer, you have something to birth that is going to make a difference to other people's lives. This card of service, it's almost as though this reading is saying, look, come on, let's step away from this, because actually you can also bring something forth that is going to be nurturing for others. The sharing of your experiences, the writing of your experiences, the flow of sharing, the sharing of your wisdom in some way. Something is very important here. I think if you can release this, if you can climb over that wall, connect into the energetic healing of green calcite that allows us to connect to those memories and know them for what they are. They're memories, they are of the past. I'm finding myself feeling quite passionate. It's really interesting. It's literally my heart chakra is opening up, as is my higher heart chakra too. Both tune in with green calcite. I can literally feel my chakras opening, and there's a stream of energy coming through. Ask Archangel Michael to help you with this situation. There's a prayer here. Archangel Michael, thank you for assisting me with, and you describe your situation. Please help me be filled with faith and peace at all times. Right, I'm being shown something quite big here. It's to do with this caught in the ruins. Whatever's going on around you, something has pressed your buttons to the point where the memory it's raised is connected to some aspect of helplessness. You didn't feel you could do anything about it. This reading is sort of saying you can't change the past, you can't do anything about the past, but you can change the future. It's really inviting you to step into an empowered space. You are in a space of gestation. There actually is only one way to go, and that way is up. Fertility is promised. If you shift this energy, you place this in the past. Now, I said I was going to shift some energy here. I'm going to actually use the selenite as well, which is quite curious. I didn't know that that would be taking place in the readings. I brought it in because it's like a battery. Selenite is amazing. It's a bit like when you place your other crystals with a piece of selenite, it recharges them. It's a bit like putting them out under the full moon. And selenite, of course, gets its name from Selene, the moon goddess. Selenite's just a wonderful, it literally captures light. I mean, you'll probably notice that, you know, it literally does draw the light and capture it. I'm going to use this to create a division here. Okay, so let's place this here. We are going to have these runes to the right hand side of this beautiful piece of selenite. This selenite here is drawing a line between the past and the present that is creating your future. Be fearless and bold. Don't be afraid of the situation and the buttons that are pressed. It is a memory. It is no longer serving you. It's time to let it go, to step over and into the light. In doing so, whatever it is that you are bringing forth is going to shift and start to flow. There is an aspect of service in your pathway. Whatever you are bringing forth, whether you are writing, whether you are sharing your story with others, whether you are working with energy, whether you're working with young people, some of you working with young people, whatever you are investing in fact, I'm saying, like, there's a lot of nurture, again, fertility in the direction you are moving in. And that fertility is offered through you to others, not just through you for you. This is something of your calling and your purpose coming through here. Have your voice. It may be a stepping stone on the journey, but the way is being shown. You do need to have a voice. There is something you have to share. Ask Archangel Michael to help you. If you find that you are going back, if you're caught in the ruins here, if you find you're going back over and over, ask for help, ask for support, ask Archangel Michael to help you to release this. Step over that wall, move into the light, let it go. It belongs in the past. Be fearless and bold. You do not have to be held back by this anymore. I want to say big respect, big honour, truly, truly humble appreciation, because this is a big thing to be doing in this year of profound transformation. As we put the past behind us and move forwards, we energetically release ourselves from the past, and it allows us to, in many ways, support others in doing the same, both by example and both by the learning and wisdom and gifts that we're then able to bring forth into the world. Wonderful friends, thank you so much for joining me, and humble respect for you on your journey. This is a big stepping stone, and this is truly a part of the path of the spiritual warrior. So much love to you all. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 2. Wonderful friends, let's have a look at our runes. We have the rune of journey and also the rune of protection. The rune of journey, it's quite interesting because this suggests that it can indicate a journey, it can indicate travelling, but more often than not we're journeying within. We're removing obstacles to our own pathway. If we think of the energy of red calcite as well, it brings us vitality, renewed energy, helps us to spin lots of plates, helps us to juggle lots of balls. At the same time, it keeps us grounded. The protection rune is interesting here with the two together, because the protection rune speaks of, in many ways, it's kind of like learning to use your emotions as a source of empowerment rather than them giving you a wobble in some way. Let's just have a look and see what our cards are showing us. So cat spirit, claim your independence. We have 5 of roses, the garden. Ooh, Archangel Raphael, very, very powerful energy here. This is about balancing. Balance, refinding your own self-worth. We have the masculine feminine card. Empower yourself, and your inner guidance is real and trustworthy. Okay, there may be some aspect of collaboration around you, and whatever is going on around you in terms of collaboration, I'd like you to think carefully about how you navigate this. So claim your independence, cat spirit. You are being asked to be particularly aware of your relationship with others. You may actually also need to, I won't say take time out, but there's something about this part of the journey that is, I think things are opening up for you, basically. Archangel Raphael, this card speaks of new opportunities. It's quite interesting because actually the rune of protection can also speak of new opportunities. As opportunities are opening up, as vitality is offered to you, you might have a lot on your plate, but nevertheless, I feel like you can actually handle it. You do need to keep your balance, maintain your balance, but I kind of feel like it's almost as though if you are successful and you're doing well and doorways are opening for you, there might be people who want to kind of attach and kind of, I almost want to say, guys, like ride on the back of your success, okay? That's kind of what's coming through. So really powerful. I do feel like it's perfectly okay to engage with others and have support, but there's something about a very personal aspect of your journey opening up for you. So let's listen to the card of empower yourself. Empowerment does not mean that we have power over others. It means we have power over ourselves. We honour our capacity for free will and conscious choice, whilst honouring the same in others. This card asks you to evaluate your present situation and to take an ownership of your right to choose, with a recognition of the entitlement of others to do the same. There's a kind of a lingering energy around you. It's as though, yeah, I want to say, I feel like your pathway to success is opening. Things are happening for you, doorways are opening, and it is as if somebody or someone, or even a group of people, I think it's a somebody, I'm not saying a group, I'm saying a somebody, is wanting to attach to you and with you and be a part of your success. It's wonderful to share, okay? Sharing is fabulous, but you might be somebody who has previously learned in your childhood, 5 of Roses here. It's as though in your childhood you learned to be of, it's almost like sharing became giving. You gave away more than you needed to. It's wonderful to be giving, but it came with a selfless edge. You've learned to put other people's choices ahead. If someone comes along and says, oh, I'd really like to do that, you're like, oh yes, of course, come and join me. But actually, claim your independence. Remain independent. There's something about the next phase of your journey. You're doing something that is very empowering. It's very resourceful. It's very, it's very giving. Very interestingly, red calcite actually helps us to maintain boundaries around people. The rune of protection, it asks us also to maintain our boundaries, not to collapse ourselves into the emotionality of a situation. You're being asked here to maintain your boundaries. If there is someone new in your world, or someone who would like to, I keep hearing riding on the back of your success. It's almost as though someone is around you who's coming in, who could be maybe a little bit needy, or they're seeing that you are successful. They are very attracted to you. There's something about your energy and your alignment, the openings that are coming into your life that are particularly attractive to others at the moment. Be thoughtful about this. In your childhood, your independence was in many ways dictated by the circumstances around you. This is a reading that is about you aligning yourself with yourself. You need to be nurturing and giving, but you also need to protect your own interests at the same time. Be very thoughtful of people who are coming into your world at this time. Opportunities are around you. Archangel Michael says, your inner guidance is real and trustworthy. And your prayer, please help me to clearly hear, see, feel and know the divine guidance that I have asked and prayed for. Allow me to keep my ego out of the way so that your wisdom can come streaming through me for my own benefit and for those around. I feel like somebody could be really being so lovely around you that you get, it's almost like the wool could be pulled over your eyes, because they're just so sweet and adorable and nice and lovely, but actually they're in it because they want something for themselves. There's an underlying agenda here, and it doesn't even have a flavour of anything that's particularly awful. It's just that they want to, it's like your light is attracting them. And when your light is shining brightly and doorways are opening, you are going through a phase of transition. You are going through a phase of opening, of opportunities coming to you. There is a lot of empowerment coming your way. This is a time the word that's coming through here is autonomy. This is a time to take an ownership of your autonomy. If you're in, a relationship, think about a relationship as being two separate people who retain their independence and autonomy. It doesn't mean you don't manage a committed relationship, but it does mean that you maintain your independence whilst you navigate your own pathway. You sail side by side with somebody. You don't need to be in the same ship at the moment. It's really interesting. There's something really powerful that is opening up for you, some kind of a possibility, and I think you've been working at this for some time. And really, really quite interesting, because red calcite really can speak to us about maintaining our boundaries in the face of the expectations of others. And this is the bit that's going back to childhood for me, where I think you learned, it's like when we learn to please as a child. We learn to please people. We learn to meet their expectations. We want to meet their expectations. We want to make our grown-ups happy. We want to make our family happy. But it means we can learn to put other people's expectations above our own needs. This is a time not to be doing this. This is a time to be holding your own course. It doesn't mean that people can't sail alongside you, but just trust your inner guidance. It's real and it's trustworthy. Again, you may actually have more than one choice ahead of you. If there is a business opportunity offered, you might find that more than one is coming your way. Again, take your time. Don't rush into the first offer. Take your time and really evaluate, look at the small print. Because again, if somebody's offering you a business opportunity, it may well be fortuitous, it may well be marvellous for you. But at the same time, make sure that the deal you need is actually going to be delivered. And it's not just somebody latching on to the potential and the possibilities that are opening up for you and seeing you as a great person to work with. There's definitely some flavour of this coming in around you. So I firstly want to honour your pathway. I want to honour the work that you have done to get you to this space and time. I want to honour the number of plates you've been juggling, the hard work you've put in to get you to this point, and to get you to a point where doorways are opening for you. I want to honour those doorways opening, because this is a time of personal empowerment, but you do need to keep yourself centred, balanced, the masculine, the feminine, you can give, you can nurture, but you also need to receive and hold your boundaries. So there's something about that personal aspect of your journey. There's something very deeply personal at the moment that is absolutely right for you. It could be your career in some way, or some aspect of your world opening up. However, whoever is wanting to walk alongside you, be thoughtful and mindful. I do see a person, but I also think there could be more than one person, more than one offer, more than one opportunity. Check out the small print, trust your inner guidance, and if you find yourself having a wobble or you're not sure, tune back into some of those, the weekly readings. If you ever have a wobble about something, draw a card, draw a rune, just one to check in, or log on to the AZ of Emotional Health YouTube homepage. There is a playlist with all the Sunday readings. So if you have a wobble, choose one. It can be completely random. Choose one and, see which one speaks to you, see which reading speaks to you. The answers are there for guidance. But there is some aspect of your journey that is solely about you at the moment. It doesn't mean that you can't liaise or engage with people, but there is something about your own emergence that means you need to really think carefully about how you navigate this and make sure that any collaborations are supporting your personal empowerment and independence, and not just somebody attaching to you because your success is like a magnet. Your light is like a magnet. So, you know, really, really think carefully, hold your boundaries, spend time reflecting on your position. Much is opening up for you. I am seeing, doorways opening. So very, very magical time of evolution for you. And yes, so be thoughtful, be a little bit guarded, cautious, trusting of your inner guidance. This is a time to empower yourself and support the empowerment of others simultaneously, but really, really look after yourself here, look after your own interests. Wonderful, wonderful friends. So much love to you. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 3. We have the wonderful aqua calcite bringing us divine guidance, connecting us to our spirit guides. We have the rune of partnership and we have the rune of Hagalaz, disruption. So this is quite interesting because it's quite a powerful combination actually. The rune of partnership suggests that relationship is around you, partnership is around you. It could be a business partnership, it could be a personal relationship, a love relationship. It's really interesting because it advises us always to remember that a healthy relationship is is made up of two separate people. Let the wings of heaven flow between you. Disruption is interesting because disruption often speaks of the need to break free from something. So let's have a look and see what our cards are showing. So we have Wombat Spirit, be at home. We have the Light of the World and the King of Keys. Okay, we have a card of Walk Away. We have Energy Healing Work. Okay, we have 7 of Air. Let's spread our cards out. This is really very powerful row of cards here, actually, I have to say. Very, very powerful. Right, the energy of partnership and relationship is around you. This is one of the most powerful cards, I think, in the Art of Manifestation Oracle pack. It's so direct. Walk away from this situation. When we face a challenging or unhealthy situation, it can be hard to let go and move on. Sometimes we stay in the hope that someone else will change, or perhaps we are so fearful of the unknown that we remain in the safety of a known and yet toxic situation. This card validates your entitlement to leave. It's really clear. I feel like you are being called to literally to contact your higher self, to listen to divine guidance. This is the aqua calcite coming through. It opens our crown chakra, it opens our third eye. It gives us a direct link to spirit, to source energy. I feel like there is most definitely here in this reading a need to break free from something, or to sever a tie, to cut a cord. And yet, it is as if there's purpose to this that's bigger than just some sort of aspect of letting go of something or someone. It's almost like the energy of this toxicity is in the way of your spiritual pathway. Now, the King of Keys is an interesting card because the King of Keys it's quite a goal-orientated card. It's quite a goal-orientated, someone who knows the direction they're going on or going in. Now, the way these cards have found their space here. 7 of Air. Again, contact your higher self. this is all about spirituality. It's your spiritual pathway. It's almost as though somehow you have been connected to, and you may have been connected to this person for quite a long time. For some of you, this is a long-standing situation. For others, it's relatively new. But for some, it is a long-standing situation. It's hard to leave because there's a sense of commitment, of obligation. But they are holding you back from your spiritual pathway. They're not at the same spiritual level as you. You are being asked to literally to ride away from this, to walk away from this. The light of the world, the card of the light of the world, this is all about your higher self, your divine being in tune and in touch with your higher self. Wombat Spirit says be at home. I feel like you need to almost retreat. And I don't mean retreat as in run away. I mean retreat within yourself. Find some time and space. It's almost as though the emotional demands within a relationship have become quite large. They're quite heavy, and somebody has drained you emotionally. Somebody is quite toxic. You know that wonderful saying, I often use it when I'm doing my readings and talking to people generally, drains and radiators. It's quite funny, the person that told me about that was the biggest drain you could ever wish to meet. Never met a bigger one. Drains and radiators. Some people are drains, some people are radiators. Now, if two radiators get together, it's magical because all you do is just create more and more and more. That is both sort of mutually responsive and outgoing. But when a radiator meets a drain, the drain will literally drain that radiator. All your energy will go. It's those toxic, narcissistic relationships where people come across in a particular way, but they are so fundamentally needy. You know, the attachment to you is huge. They need and they need and they need and they need, and then they need some more. It's like a bucket with a hole in. You are literally being asked to walk away. Tune into your higher self, connect to your guides and angels. Now, partnership is around you, which is really interesting. Sometimes for me, this can indicate a new relationship. I don't think so. At the moment, this is about severing ties. It's like the energy of someone around you has really been quite toxic. And there is a need to walk away. There really is. Literally, climb on your horse, get yourself in tune with your guides, your higher vision, and ride out of there. This is a period of time when you can connect to something that is to do with your higher self, your spiritual pathway. Retreat, be at home, be safe. Energy healing work. Lovely, lovely prayer from Archangel Michael. Thank you for sending healing energy to me and through me for my own blessings and for all those around me. Thank you for connecting me to loving and high integrity healers and teachers of energy healing modalities. You are literally moving away from something. It's like shed, release, cleanse. You're letting go of very specifically someone. As I said earlier, I think for some of you, it's a long-term situation. This person has really, really drained you. You have given it your best shot, and then you've given it even more. For others, this is someone quite new. They've come in and, you know, you've kind of wanted to be in this new space with someone, but actually already you're beginning to feel that sense of restriction around you. There's something about them just clinging. Let go of that energy. Shed, release, cleanse, move away. It's time to move on and beyond. Your world is opening up in terms of your spiritual pathway here. You are being guided to work with energy. The energy healing work here is, again, this card has a duality to it. On one level, it is bringing you the healing you need to move away from a toxic situation, from somebody who's really quite needy. They have a hidden agenda. They haven't been upfront about it, but they've also been very good. They are very good at getting their needs met. You know, for some of you, there's a little bit of arrogance around this. That's at essence of what I would call kind of, you know, there's different forms of narcissism. You know, some narcissists are very upfront And in many ways, you know, they're quite demanding in an upfront way. Others are quite sort of below the belt about the way they get their needs met. But one way or the other, they are fundamentally drains, whichever way round it is. You need to be cleansed of them. You need to sever that tie. It's so clear, this reading. And your guides are coming through really strongly. They are supporting you. They are speaking to you. They are lighting the way for you. They are saying to you, connect with your higher self. You know what you need to do. It's such a clear reading. It really, really is. I love that there's this sort of parting company here. There's an energy here where there's like a division here. It's quite interesting. In one of the other readings today, I actually did a little bit of shifting energy here. And again, I'm actually going to create a kind of, in fact, it's not even here. Yeah, it's like there's two divisions here. It's almost as though the walk away card, the footprints are going there. It's like leave it behind. Yeah, it's of the past. Connect with your higher self. Your guidance is present and ready, and there is the creation and the movement of the new. Whatever you're needing to break free from, listen to that. It is going to guide you into a space of higher learning. Yes, there's an element of retreat. Just retreat in order to recover. It doesn't feel as though that recovery period will be too long either, interestingly enough. I think your energy will start to rebuild the moment you sever that toxic tie. But just be very, very mindful. It's time to move on. It's time to move forwards. It's time to release the past. Your higher self knows exactly what you need to do, and your guides are ready and willing, and you know, the universe has your back. Your guides are there to support you. They are there to help you to recover, to rejuvenate, to cleanse, release at a cellular level. Literally, healing is brought to you, and within that space of healing, in turn, I believe you may well be guided into offering energetic healing work to others as well. But this is a time of severing these ties. I find myself wanting to place the runes here. It's quite interesting in that sort of severance here, relationship and need to break free. I would also say, if something happens with the rune of disruption, if circumstances are such that there is a separation occurs, just trust that it was meant to happen. Lean into that space. Trust your higher guidance. And I'm going to use this selenite again. I used it in one of the readings earlier. Wonderful energy. It literally captures the light. It's really interesting because it's a battery recharger. It's like when you put your crystals with your piece of selenite, it charges them up as if you had put them under the full moon. Of course, selenite gets its name from Selene, the moon goddess. You know, beautiful energy gathering that light. This is about re-energizing, recharging your batteries, walking away into a space of retreat and recuperation and recharging of you. Your own personal radiator can then start to radiate again. But right now, there is a clear separation here. Partnership, disruption, trust that whatever causes that disruption, it's perfect and it needed to happen. For some people, there may be a sudden breaking away from somebody. For others, it's something that has been happening over time. It's like a series of little mini awakenings where you can actually see that somebody had an ulterior motive or a different agenda, and it's time to sever that tie, walk away. This card validates your entitlement to leave. Your guides are with you. Wonderful friends, very, very powerful readings. We will, of course, soon be approaching a new moon, which is very, very exciting. I'm going to be doing big readings for the next phase of 2021. It's such a year of transformation. These readings are so powerful this week in terms of transition, which of course is really where the astro energy is. Wonderful friends, look after yourselves, wonderful people. Take care of you, recharge those batteries, walk away, replenish, tune into your higher self. There is so much so much ahead of you in terms of light, love, laughter, but it is time to replenish. This energy isn't good for you. So yes, so clear, walk away. So much love to you all. Namaste.